My beloved child, I need you to stop everything you are doing right now and listen carefully to what I am about to tell you. This is not a coincidence that your eyes have found these words at this very moment. There is something happening in the spiritual realm that directly concerns your life, your future, and your destiny. I am tearing down every single obstacle that has been standing in opposition to your blessing. Every wall that the enemy has built to block your path, every chain that has been wrapped around your dreams, every barrier that has separated you from the breakthrough you have been desperately praying for, I am destroying them all with my mighty hand. You have been crying out to me in your prayers, asking me when your season of struggle will finally come to an end. You have been wondering if I have heard your voice, if I have seen your tears, if I understand the weight that has been pressing down upon your shoulders day after day. My precious child, let me tell you something that will change everything for you from this moment forward. Not only have I heard every single word you have spoken to me in prayer, but I have also felt every emotion that has moved through your heart. I have counted every tear that has fallen from your eyes. I have watched as you have fought battles that no one else even knew you were facing. I have been there beside you when you felt like giving up, when the pain became so overwhelming that you could barely breathe, when the darkness seemed so thick that you could not see any light ahead. Think about Joseph for a moment. This man was thrown into a pit by his own brothers, people who were supposed to love and protect him. He was sold into slavery, lied about by someone he worked for with complete integrity, and thrown into prison for a crime he never committed. Year after year in that dark, cold prison cell, holding on to a dream that seemed to become more impossible with each passing day. The voices around him were telling him to give up, to accept his circumstances, to stop believing that God had a plan for his life. But what Joseph did not know, what he could not see from where he was sitting, was that every single thing that looked like a setback was actually a setup. The pit was preparing him for the palace. The prison was developing in him the character he would need to handle the authority he was about to receive. The pain was purifying his heart so that when he finally stepped into his destiny, he would be ready to forgive those who had hurt him and to use his position to save the very people who had tried to destroy him. Right now, you are in your prison season. But I want you to understand something that will transform the way you see your current situation. This delay is not a denial. This waiting period is not a punishment. This season of testing is not evidence that I have forgotten about you or that I am angry with you. What you are experiencing right now is the final stage of preparation before I release you into the most incredible chapter of your life. I am breaking down the walls of limitation that have surrounded you. I am clearing the path that leads to your promised land. I am opening doors that no man can shut and closing doors that were never meant for you in the first place. I want you to feel my presence surrounding you right now like the warmest embrace you have ever known. Can you sense that? That gentle stirring in your spirit, that unexplainable peace that is beginning to settle over your anxious thoughts, that supernatural strength that is flowing into your weary bones. That is me, your Heavenly Father, wrapping my arms around you and whispering into your soul that everything is about to change for the better. The miracle you have been praying for, crying for, believing for, is not just coming someday in the distant future. It is manifesting right now as you receive these words. My power is being released into your situation at this very moment, transforming circumstances that seemed impossible to change, healing wounds that seemed too deep to mend, restoring relationships that seemed too broken to repair. Let me take you to another story that will encourage your heart. Remember Abraham, the man I called to leave everything familiar and follow me into an unknown land. I made him a promise that seemed absolutely impossible from a human perspective. I told him that he would become the father of many nations, that his descendants would be as numerous as the stars in the sky and the sand on the seashore. But here is what made this promise seem impossible. Abraham was already an old man, and his wife Sarah was barren. They had tried for years to have children with no success. By all natural standards, this dream was dead. But Abraham believed my word, even when what I promised contradicted everything his natural eyes could see. He held on to my promise for 25 years, through seasons of doubt, through moments of weakness, through times when it seemed like I had forgotten what I had told him. But then came the moment when I fulfilled my word. Not only did I give Abraham a son in his old age, but I used that son, Isaac, to establish a lineage that would eventually bring salvation to the entire world through Jesus Christ. What looked like an impossible promise became the foundation for the greatest miracle in human history. Abraham's long season of waiting was not wasted time. It was a period of preparation where his faith was strengthened, his character was developed, and his trust in me was perfected. By the time Isaac was born, Abraham was ready to receive the blessing and handle it with wisdom and gratitude. This is exactly what I am doing in your life right now. The promise I gave you years ago, the dream I planted in your heart, the vision I showed you in prayer, it is all coming to pass. The delay you have experienced has not been a sign of my absence, but evidence of my perfect timing. I have been preparing you during this waiting season, developing in you the spiritual maturity you will need to steward the blessings I am about to pour out upon your life. I have been removing from your character the pride, the selfishness, the fear, and the doubt that would have caused you to mishandle or lose the very gifts I want to give you. When Moses was called to deliver the children of Israel from slavery in Egypt, he spent 40 years in the wilderness tending sheep before I sent him back to face Pharaoh. Those were not wasted years. During that time in the desert, I was transforming a man who had been raised in the luxury of Pharaoh's palace into a humble shepherd who could relate to the struggles of common people. I was teaching him patience, compassion, and dependence on my voice rather than his own understanding. When the time finally came for him to step into his calling, he was ready not because he felt confident in his own abilities, but because he had learned to trust completely in my power, working through him. Your wilderness season is coming to an end, my child. The years you have spent feeling forgotten, overlooked, and delayed are about to be revealed as years of divine preparation. Every disappointment you have faced has been removing from your life people and opportunities that would have hindered your destiny. Every closed door has been protecting you from paths that would have led you away from my best plan for your life. Every rejection you have experienced has been redirecting you toward the connections and opportunities that are perfectly aligned with my purpose for your future. I am writing your name on doors that are about to open for you. I am speaking to the hearts of people who will become instrumental in your breakthrough. I am arranging circumstances that will seem like coincidences, but are actually divine appointments orchestrated by my loving hand. The promotion you have been waiting for, the healing you have been believing for, the relationship you have been praying for, the financial breakthrough you have been needing, the family restoration you have been hoping for. All of these blessings are moving toward you right now like rivers flowing toward the sea. But I need you to do something for me. I need you to stop focusing on what is wrong and start celebrating what is about to go right. I need you to stop rehearsing your problems and start declaring my promises. I need you to stop walking in fear and start moving in faith. The enemy has been trying to convince you that your best days are behind you, that you have missed your opportunity, that it is too late for your dreams to come true. But I am here to tell you that your enemy is a liar. Your greatest victories are not in your past. They are in your future. Your most beautiful chapters are not the ones you have already lived. They are the ones you are about to write with my help. Think about David, the shepherd boy who was anointed to be king but spent years running for his life in caves and wilderness places. During those years of hiding, it seemed like the prophet Samuel had made a mistake when he poured oil on David's head and declared him to be Israel's next king. David's circumstances seemed to contradict everything God had promised about his future. He was being hunted like a criminal by the very king he was supposed to replace. He was living in poverty when he was supposed to be living in a palace. He was surrounded by outcasts and rebels when he was supposed to be leading a mighty army. But during those years in the wilderness, I was preparing David for the throne in ways that could never have happened in a palace. I was teaching him how to depend on me in impossible situations. I was showing him how to encourage himself when no one else was there to lift his spirits. I was developing in him the heart of a shepherd who would care for my people with compassion and wisdom. By the time David finally took his place as king, he was not just a man with a crown. He was a leader after my own heart, who would establish a kingdom that would point forward to the eternal kingdom of my son Jesus. Your cave season is preparing you for your palace season. Your desert experience is qualifying you for your destiny. Every battle you have fought in secret has been developing the spiritual muscles you will need to handle the public victories I am about to give you. Every tear you have cried in private has been watering the seeds of joy that are about to bloom in your life. Every prayer you have whispered in the darkness has been building the foundation for the testimony you will share when you step into the light. I want you to understand something that will change the way you see every challenge you face from this day forward. The enemy's attacks against your life have not been random. He has been trying to destroy you because he knows what I know about your future. He can see the calling on your life, the anointing that rests upon you, the potential that lies within you to impact this world for my kingdom. Every lie he has whispered in your ear about your worth, your purpose, your destiny, has been his desperate attempt to convince you to give up before you reach the finish line. But here is what the enemy did not count on. My love for you is stronger than his hatred. My plans for your life are more powerful than his schemes. My ability to turn your mess into a message, your test into a testimony, your pain into purpose, is greater than his ability to destroy and defeat. Right now, even as you read these words, I am turning the tables on every plot the enemy has devised against your life. Every trap he set to catch you is about to catch him instead. Every weapon he formed against you is about to backfire and work in your favor. The people who have been spreading lies about your character are about to be exposed for who they really are. The individuals who have been blocking your progress are about to be removed from their positions of influence. The circumstances that have been working against you are about to shift in your favor. The doors that have been closed to you are about to swing wide open. The opportunities that have been delayed are about to manifest with such speed that it will take your breath away. I need you to prepare your heart for what I am about to do in your life. I am not just going to give you a small blessing that barely covers your needs. I am not just going to provide for you in a way that allows you to get by. I am about to bless you so abundantly that it will be undeniable to everyone around you that my hand is upon your life. I am going to promote you in such a dramatic way that the people who counted you out will have to acknowledge that you serve a God who specializes in the impossible. I am going to restore to you everything the enemy has stolen, plus give you interest for the time you were without it. But with great blessing comes great responsibility. I am not blessing you just so you can live a comfortable life. I am blessing you so you can be a blessing to others. I am opening doors for you so you can help open doors for those who are still struggling. I am healing you so you can bring healing to the brokenhearted. I am prospering you so you can be generous to those in need. I am elevating you so you can pull others up with you. Remember Lazarus, the friend of Jesus who became sick and died, while Jesus seemed to delay his response to the urgent message from Mary and Martha. When Jesus finally arrived in Bethany, Lazarus had been dead for 4 days. The situation seemed hopeless. The funeral had already taken place. The body was already beginning to decompose. But Jesus had allowed this delay not because he did not care, but because he wanted to perform a miracle so powerful that it would strengthen the faith of everyone who witnessed it. When Jesus called Lazarus forth from the tomb, it was not just a resurrection. It was a declaration that no situation is too dead for God to bring back to life. Your dead dream is about to be resurrected. Your dead relationship is about to be restored. Your dead business is about to be revived. Your dead finances are about to be renewed. Your dead health is about to be rejuvenated. What has been buried is about to be brought back to life with more power and beauty than it ever had before. The grave clothes that have been wrapped around your hopes are about to be removed, and you are going to step into a new season of life that will amaze everyone who knows your story. I have been watching you during these difficult months, and I have been so proud of the way you have handled yourself. When others would have given up, you kept believing. When others would have become bitter, you chose to trust in my goodness. When others would have compromised their integrity to get ahead, you decided to wait for me to open the right doors at the right time. Your faithfulness during this season of testing has not gone unnoticed. Your commitment to me when it was hard to see my hand at work has touched my heart deeply. Because of your faithfulness in the little things, I am about to put you over much. Because of your integrity in the secret place, I am about to reward you in the public place. Because of your patience in the waiting season, I am about to release you into your season of reaping. The tests you have passed have qualified you for the blessings you are about to receive. The character you have developed through adversity has prepared you to handle the abundance I am about to pour into your life. But I need you to stay focused on me during this transition period, when the blessings begin to flow, when the doors begin to open, when the opportunities begin to manifest. Do not forget who is the source of all good things. Do not allow success to make you proud or prosperity to make you forget your dependence on me. Continue to seek my face every morning before you seek anything else. Continue to read my word and listen for my voice even when life gets busy and exciting. Continue to remember the poor and the hurting, even when your own needs are abundantly met. The widow of Zarephath was down to her last handful of flour and her last drop of oil when the prophet Elijah came to her door asking for food. By all natural reasoning, she should have told him that she could not help him because she was about to prepare the last meal for herself and her son before they starved to death. But something in her spirit recognized that this man of God represented an opportunity for supernatural provision. She took the risk of faith and used her last resources to feed the prophet first, trusting that God would somehow take care of her needs. Because of her act of faith, her flour never ran out and her oil never dried up for as long as the famine lasted. Right now, I am asking you to take a similar step of faith. Even though your resources seem limited, even though your situation appears desperate, I want you to start giving, start serving, start believing as if your breakthrough has already happened. Stop hoarding what little you have out of fear that there will not be enough. Start operating from a place of abundance rather than scarcity. Begin to act like the blessed person you are about to become rather than the struggling person you have been. When you take this step of faith, you will activate my supernatural provision in your life. The windows of heaven will open over your finances, your relationships, your health, your career, and every other area of your life. You will experience my goodness in ways you never imagined possible. You will receive blessings that you did not even know to ask for. You will be amazed at how quickly I can turn your situation around when you align your actions with my principles. I want you to know that every night when you have felt alone, I have been there with you. Every time you have cried yourself to sleep, I have collected your tears in my bottle. Every moment when you have felt forgotten by the world, you have been in the center of my thoughts. There has never been a single second when you have been out of my sight or beyond the reach of my love. When the storms of life have raged around you, I have been your shelter. When the floods of adversity have threatened to overwhelm you, I have been your anchor. When the fires of testing have surrounded you, I have been walking in the flames beside you. The enemy tried to use your painful experiences to convince you that I did not care about your suffering. He whispered lies in your ear telling you that if I really loved you, I would not have allowed you to go through such difficult times. But what the enemy failed to understand is that my love for you is so deep that I will allow temporary pain if it will produce permanent gain in your character and destiny. Just like a skilled surgeon allows temporary pain during an operation in order to remove something that would eventually destroy the patient's health, I have allowed certain trials in your life to remove things that would have ultimately hindered your spiritual growth and effectiveness. But the operation is almost complete. The painful procedure that has been necessary to prepare you for your destiny is coming to an end. The healing process is beginning, and soon you will be stronger and healthier than you have ever been before. The scars will remain as reminders of what I brought you through, but they will no longer cause you pain. Instead, they will become sources of strength and confidence as you help others who are going through similar struggles. I am about to do something in your life that will be so remarkable that people will travel from far and wide just to hear your testimony. Your story of struggle and eventual victory will become a source of hope for countless people who are facing their own battles. The mess that the enemy meant to destroy you with will become the message that I use to set others free. The pain that was designed to break you will become the platform from which you declare my goodness to the world. Your loved ones who have been watching you go through this difficult season are about to see you emerge as a completely transformed person. They will witness firsthand what it looks like when I take someone from the pit to the palace, from mourning to dancing, from barely surviving to abundantly thriving. Your family members who have been worried about you are about to see you blessed beyond their wildest imagination. Your friends who have been praying for you are about to celebrate with you as they watch me exceed their expectations in answering their prayers on your behalf. The enemies who have been plotting your downfall are about to watch in amazement as I lift you up higher than you have ever been before. Those who have been spreading rumors about your failure are about to witness your phenomenal success. The people who wrote you off as finished are about to see you just getting started. The individuals who thought they had seen the best of you are about to discover that your greatest achievements are still ahead of you. But remember, when these victories begin to manifest in your life, you must give all the glory to me. You must make it clear to everyone who will listen that your breakthrough came not because of your own strength or wisdom, but because of my grace and power working in your life. You must use your platform of influence not to promote yourself, but to point others toward the relationship with me that made your transformation possible. I am preparing a table of blessing before you in the presence of your enemies. I am arranging circumstances so that the people who have opposed you will have front row seats to watch me honor you. The promotion that I am about to give you will happen right in front of the people who said you would never amount to anything. The financial breakthrough that I am about to release into your life will be visible to those who whispered that you would always struggle. The healing that I am about to manifest in your body will be witnessed by those who declared that you would never recover. This is not happening so you can gloat over your enemies or take revenge on those who have hurt you. This is happening so that everyone who sees your elevation will have to acknowledge that you serve a God who is able to do exceedingly abundantly above all that we ask or think. Your victory will become a testimony to my power and faithfulness that will draw many people into a life-changing relationship with me. As you step into this new season of blessing, I want you to remember the lessons you have learned during your time of testing. Do not forget the humility that was developed in you when you had to depend on me for your daily needs. Do not lose the compassion that was cultivated in your heart when you experienced rejection and loneliness. Do not abandon the prayer life that sustained you when everything seemed to be falling apart. The qualities that were forged in you during the fire are the very qualities that will make you effective in the palace. Joseph never forgot that it was God who delivered him from the pit and the prison. Even when he was second in command over all of Egypt, he remained humble and dependent on divine wisdom. When his brothers came to him for help during the famine, he did not use his position to get revenge. Instead, he forgave them and provided for their needs. He understood that his elevation was not about personal gain, but about being positioned to preserve many lives during a time of crisis. This is the heart I want you to have as you enter your season of abundance. Use your blessings to bless others. Use your influence to help those who are powerless. Use your resources to provide for those who are in need. Use your testimony to encourage those who are still fighting their battles. Remember that to whom much is given, much is required, and that your greatest joy will come not from what you receive, but from what you are able to give. I love you with an everlasting love, and nothing will ever change that. Not your mistakes, not your doubts, not your fears, not your failures. My love for you is not based on your performance. It is based on your position as my child. You are precious in my sight, honored and beloved. You are the apple of my eye, the joy of my heart, the treasure of my affection. Before you were formed in your mother's womb, I knew you and set you apart for a special purpose. That purpose is about to be revealed in ways that will exceed your highest expectations. The best is yet to come, my beloved child. Your latter days will be greater than your former days. Your final chapter will be more glorious than your first chapter. Your ultimate destination will be more beautiful than your original starting point. What I am about to do in your life will make everything you have gone through worth it. When you look back on this season of testing from your place of triumph, you will be able to say with complete honesty that you would not change a thing about your journey because every step was necessary to bring you to where you needed to be. Trust me completely as we move forward together into the incredible future I have planned for you. Keep your hand in mine and your eyes on my face. Listen for my voice above all the other voices that will try to distract you. Follow my lead even when the path seems unclear. Remember my promises even when circumstances seem to contradict them. Hold fast to your faith even when others encourage you to doubt. Stay close to me even when success makes you feel like you can handle things on your own. The miracle you have been waiting for is here. The breakthrough you have been believing for is now. The blessing you have been hoping for is yours. Receive it with thanksgiving, steward it with wisdom, and share it with generosity. This is your moment, your season, your time to shine for my glory. I want to tell you more about the supernatural season that is opening before you. There are forces at work in the spiritual realm right now that are aligning every detail of your life with my perfect will. Angels have been dispatched from my throne room with specific assignments related to your breakthrough. They are moving obstacles that have been blocking your path. They are speaking to the hearts of people who will become instrumental in your success. They are positioning you for encounters that will change the trajectory of your entire existence. You may not be able to see them with your natural eyes, but these heavenly messengers are working around the clock on your behalf. The reason certain doors have remained closed until now is because my angels were still preparing the people and circumstances that needed to be in place for your blessing to manifest in its fullness. But that preparation period is now complete, and the supernatural forces that have been working behind the scenes are about to become visible in your natural circumstances. Think about the story of Elisha and his servant when they were surrounded by the Syrian army. The servant looked out and saw nothing but enemy soldiers as far as the eye could see. He was terrified because from his perspective, they were completely outnumbered and had no chance of escape. But Elisha prayed a simple prayer. Lord, open his eyes so that he may see. When God opened the servant's spiritual eyes, he discovered that the mountain was full of horses and chariots of fire surrounding them. The army of heaven was greater than the army of the enemy, and they had been there all along, just waiting for the right moment to reveal themselves. This is exactly what has been happening in your life during this season of testing. The enemy has been showing you his forces, making his threats known, displaying his weapons of discouragement, fear, and doubt. He has been trying to convince you that you are outnumbered, outgunned, and out of options. But what he does not want you to know is that my army has been surrounding you this entire time. The forces of heaven that are working in your favor are infinitely more powerful than anything the enemy can bring against you. The breakthrough that is coming to your life is not just going to be natural, it is going to be supernatural. It is not just going to meet your needs, it is going to exceed your expectations. It is not just going to solve your current problems, it is going to position you for a future that is more glorious than anything you have dared to imagine. The blessing that is about to manifest is not just going to impact you, it is going to affect generations that come after you. I want you to understand the magnitude of what I am about to do. This is not just about giving you a better job, though I will give you that. This is not just about improving your finances, though I will do that too. This is not just about healing your body or restoring your relationships, though those things are certainly part of my plan. What I am about to do is establish you as a testament to my faithfulness that will inspire people for decades to come. Your name is about to become synonymous with miraculous breakthrough. When people want to encourage someone who is going through a difficult time, they will tell your story. When believers want to build their faith, they will remember what I did in your life. When doubters question whether God still performs miracles, they will be pointed to the supernatural transformation that is about to take place in your circumstances. But for this to happen, you must be willing to trust me even when you cannot understand my methods. You must be prepared to walk by faith even when the path seems unclear. You must be ready to obey my voice even when my instructions seem to contradict human wisdom. The blessing I want to give you is so great that it requires a level of faith that goes beyond anything you have exercised before. Remember the story of Naaman, the Syrian commander who had leprosy. When he came to Elisha for healing, he expected the prophet to come out and perform some dramatic ritual, to call upon the name of the Lord and wave his hand over the diseased area. Instead, Elisha sent a messenger to tell him to go and wash 7 times in the Jordan River. Naaman was furious because the instructions seemed too simple, too ordinary, too beneath his dignity as a great military leader. His servants had to convince him to humble himself and follow the prophet's instructions. They said, "If the prophet had told you to do some great thing, would you not have done it? How much more then, when he says to you, wash and be clean? When Naaman finally swallowed his pride and obeyed the word of the Lord, he was completely healed. His flesh became like that of a young child, and he was restored to perfect health. Right now, I may be asking you to do something that seems too simple, too small, or too ordinary to produce the miracle you need. I may be calling you to forgive someone who has hurt you deeply. I may be directing you to give when your resources seem limited. I may be instructing you to take a step of faith that makes no sense from a natural perspective. But if you will humble yourself and obey my voice, you will discover that my ways are higher than your ways, and my thoughts are higher than your thoughts. The miracle you are about to receive has been designed specifically for you. It is not a generic blessing that could work for anyone. It is a custom-made breakthrough that takes into account your unique personality, your specific circumstances, your particular calling, and your individual destiny. I have been crafting this miracle with the same attention to detail that a master jeweler uses when creating a one-of-a-kind piece for a beloved customer. Every aspect of what I am about to do has been carefully planned to bring you the greatest possible joy, to give you the deepest possible satisfaction, to provide you with the most complete possible fulfillment. This blessing has been designed not just to meet your needs, but to exceed your dreams. It has been created not just to solve your problems, but to open up possibilities you never even knew existed. The enemy has been trying to make you believe that your best option is to settle for less than my perfect will. He has been whispering in your ear that you should lower your expectations, compromise your standards, and accept whatever scraps life throws your way. But I am here to tell you that settling is not an option for my children. I have called you to live an abundant life, to experience supernatural breakthrough, to walk in miraculous provision. You are not destined for mediocrity. You are not called to barely get by. You are not designed to live in constant struggle and limitation. You are my child, and I have prepared blessings for you that are pressed down, shaken together, and running over. You are about to experience goodness in a measure that will leave you amazed at my generosity and power. But as these blessings begin to manifest in your life, you must remember that with great privilege comes great responsibility. You must understand that I am not blessing you just for your own sake, but because I want to use you as a channel of blessing to others. You must recognize that the abundance I am about to pour into your life is not just for your enjoyment, but for the advancement of my kingdom on earth. When the Queen of Sheba heard about the wisdom and prosperity of King Solomon, she traveled from the ends of the earth to see for herself whether the reports were true. When she arrived in Jerusalem and witnessed the splendor of his kingdom, the wisdom of his judgments, and the abundance of his resources, she was overwhelmed. She said, "The report that I heard in my own land about your words and your wisdom was true, but I did not believe the reports until I came and my own eyes had seen it. And behold, the half was not told me. Your wisdom and prosperity surpassed the report that I heard. This is what is going to happen as a result of the blessing I'm about to pour out upon your life. People are going to travel from far and wide just to see what I have done for you. They are going to hear reports about your breakthrough, but when they see it with their own eyes, they are going to realize that the half was not told. The magnitude of my goodness toward you will exceed anything that can be adequately described in words. But just as Solomon used his wisdom and resources to point people toward the glory of God, you must use your blessing to direct others toward a relationship with me. Your testimony must become a bridge that leads broken people to my healing, struggling people to my provision, and lost people to my salvation. The platform I am giving you must be used to lift up the name of Jesus and to demonstrate the reality of my love to a world that desperately needs hope. I want to share with you another dimension of what is happening in the spiritual realm right now. There are prophetic words that were spoken over your life years ago that are about to come to pass. There are promises that were made to your parents or grandparents that are about to be fulfilled in your generation. There are blessings that were declared over your bloodline that are about to manifest in your circumstances. Sometimes my promises skip a generation because the timing is not right, or because the vessel is not ready. But I never forget what I have spoken, and I never abandon what I have decreed. The seeds that were planted in previous generations through prayer, through faithfulness, through obedience, through sacrifice, are about to produce a harvest that will amaze everyone who witnesses it. You may not even be aware of the prayers that were prayed over your life before you were born. You may not know about the tears that were shed by believing relatives who interceded for your future. You may not understand the depth of faith that was exercised by spiritual mothers and fathers who believed for your breakthrough, even when there was no evidence that it would come. But all of that spiritual investment is about to pay dividends in your life, in ways that will leave you humbled and grateful. The breakthrough that is coming is not just for you. It is an answer to prayers that have been ascending to my throne for decades. It is a fulfillment of promises that I made to people who loved you before you even knew how to love yourself. It is a vindication of faith that was exercised by individuals who believed in my goodness even when circumstances seemed to contradict it. This is why your victory is so important, why your breakthrough is so significant, why your blessing is so crucial. It is not just about your personal happiness or success. It is about honoring the faith of those who went before you, about validating the prayers of those who interceded for you, about fulfilling the prophetic words that were spoken over your destiny. When you step into the fullness of what I have prepared for you, you will be walking in the accumulated faith, prayers, and sacrifices of multiple generations. You will be carrying not just your own dreams, but the hopes and aspirations of spiritual fathers and mothers who invested in your future even when they could not see the outcome. You will be representing not just yourself, but an entire lineage of believers who trusted in my faithfulness. This is why the enemy fought so hard to prevent this breakthrough from happening. He knew that your victory would not just impact you, but would release a generational blessing that would affect your children, your grandchildren, and generations yet to come. He understood that your breakthrough would become a memorial stone that would encourage others to believe for their own miracles. He realized that your testimony would become a weapon that would destroy the lies he has been telling to countless other people about the impossibility of their dreams. But his attempts to stop what I have decreed have failed completely. Every weapon he formed against you has been turned back upon his own head. Every trap he set to catch you has become a snare for his own feet. Every lie he whispered to discourage you has only served to strengthen your resolve to trust in my truth. Every attack he launched against your destiny has only prepared you to appreciate the blessing more when it finally arrives. You are standing at the threshold of a new era in your life. The old season of struggle and limitation is passing away, and a new season of abundance and breakthrough is beginning. The things that have defined your experience up until this point are about to become distant memories as you step into a reality that exceeds your wildest dreams. But as you cross this threshold, you must be careful to bring the right things with you into your new season. Bring your humility, but leave your insecurities behind. Bring your compassion, but leave your bitterness behind. Bring your faith, but leave your fears behind. Bring your gratitude, but leave your entitlement behind. The character qualities that were developed in you during the wilderness will serve you well in the promised land. But the wounded mentalities that were formed through trauma must be healed and released. I am doing a new thing in your life, and you cannot fit a new blessing into an old mindset. You cannot pour new wine into old wineskins without causing both to be destroyed. The thoughts you think, the words you speak, the attitudes you carry, the expectations you hold must all be aligned with the new reality that I am creating for you. This means you must stop talking like a victim and start speaking like a victor. You must stop thinking like someone who barely survives and start believing like someone who abundantly thrives. You must stop expecting the worst and start anticipating the best. You must stop preparing for failure and start planning for success. The words you speak have the power to accelerate or delay the manifestation of your breakthrough. Every time you declare my promises over your life, you are activating spiritual forces that work to bring those promises to pass. Every time you confess doubt, fear, or limitation, you are empowering the very spirits that want to keep you trapped in your current circumstances. From this day forward, I want you to speak only what aligns with my word and my will for your life. When people ask you how you are doing, do not give them a report about your problems. Instead, share with them what I have promised about your future. When you are tempted to complain about your current circumstances, Choose instead to praise me for the breakthrough that is on its way. When negative thoughts try to fill your mind, replace them immediately with declarations of faith and hope. Your words are powerful because you are my child and you carry my authority. What you bind on earth is bound in heaven, and what you loose on earth is loosed in heaven. This means that when you declare freedom from limitation, you are releasing supernatural forces that work to make that freedom a reality. When you proclaim abundance over your finances, you are opening channels in the spirit realm through which my provision can flow. When you speak healing over your body, you are activating my power to restore and renew every cell and organ. But you must be consistent in your declarations. You cannot speak faith in the morning and doubt in the evening. You cannot declare victory on Sunday and defeat on Monday. You cannot proclaim abundance in church and limitation at home. Your words must become a steady stream of agreement with what I have said about your life and your future. This requires discipline, especially in the beginning when your circumstances have not yet caught up with your declarations. It means speaking what you believe rather than what you see. It means confessing what you know to be true in the spirit, rather than what appears to be true in the natural. It means aligning your mouth with my promises, rather than with your temporary experiences. As you learn to speak in faith consistently, you will notice that your thoughts begin to change. As your thoughts change, your emotions will follow. As your emotions align with faith and hope, your actions will become more bold and decisive. As your actions reflect confidence in my goodness, your circumstances will begin to shift to match what you have been declaring. This is the process of transformation that leads to breakthrough. It begins in your heart with a decision to believe what I have said about you. It moves to your mind as you renew your thinking with my word. It comes out of your mouth as declarations of faith and victory. It is reflected in your actions as steps of obedience and courage. And finally, it manifests in your circumstances as supernatural breakthrough and blessing. You have been faithful to believe in me during the dark times, and now I'm about to reward that faithfulness in ways that will astound you. You have trusted my heart even when you could not understand my ways, and now I am about to reveal my purposes in a manner that will fill you with awe and wonder. You have continued to hope even when hope seemed foolish, and now that hope is about to be transformed into glorious reality. The drought is over. The famine is ending. The winter season has passed. The spring of new beginnings is here, and the seeds that were planted in tears are about to burst forth in abundant harvest. The sun is rising on a new day in your life, and the light of my favor is about to illuminate possibilities you never knew existed. Your time of mourning is completed, and your season of joy has arrived. The years that the locusts have eaten are about to be restored in a single season. What was stolen from you in portions is about to be returned to you in abundance. What was taken from you slowly is about to be restored quickly. What was lost through betrayal is about to be recovered through blessing. I am about to do more in a few months than has been accomplished in the past few years. I am about to move with such speed and power that you will struggle to keep up with all the good things that are happening in your life. You will go from praying for a breakthrough to managing multiple breakthroughs. You will go from hoping for a miracle to stewarding an abundance of miracles. But remember, in the midst of all this blessing, to keep your heart tender toward me. Do not allow success to make you proud or prosperity to make you forget your dependence on my grace. Continue to seek my face with the same desperation you had when you were in desperate need. Continue to treasure my presence with the same hunger you had when you felt empty and alone. The greatest blessing I can give you is not money or success or recognition or even perfect health. The greatest blessing I can give you is a close, intimate, unbroken relationship with me that grows deeper and sweeter with each passing day. Everything else I give you is meant to enhance and support that relationship, not to replace it or compete with it. Stay close to me, my beloved child. Keep your hand in mine as we walk together into the glorious future I have prepared for you. Trust my leading, follow my guidance, and watch as I transform not only your circumstances, but your entire life into a testimony of my faithfulness and love. There is something else I want you to understand about the season you are entering. This breakthrough is not just about material provision or external circumstances changing in your favor. What I'm about to do in your life is going to transform you from the inside out. You are going to discover strengths you never knew you possessed, gifts you never realized you carried, and a level of faith that will amaze even yourself. The trials you have walked through have been developing spiritual muscles that you will need for the assignments I'm about to give you. The character that has been forged in the fire of testing is exactly what you will need to handle the influence and responsibility that come with the blessing I am preparing. The wisdom that has been gained through difficult experiences is going to guide you in making decisions that will impact not just your own life, but the lives of countless others. Think about how diamonds are formed. They begin as ordinary carbon, subjected to intense pressure and heat deep within the earth for thousands of years. What emerges from that process is one of the most beautiful and valuable substances known to mankind. The pressure that seemed designed to destroy actually created something of extraordinary worth and beauty. The heat that felt unbearable was actually the very thing needed to transform common material into precious treasure. This is exactly what has been happening in your life during this season of testing. The pressure you have felt has not been punishment. It has been preparation. The heat of adversity has not been God's anger toward you. It has been His refining process to bring out the best in you. What has felt like an attempt to break you has actually been making you into something beautiful, valuable, and useful for His kingdom purposes. The person who enters into this new season of blessing is not the same person who began this journey years ago. You have been transformed by your experiences, refined by your trials, and strengthened by your struggles. You now possess a depth of character, a richness of wisdom, and a proven track record of faithfulness that qualifies you for the incredible opportunities that are about to open up in your life. When Joshua was preparing to lead the children of Israel into the promised land, God told him to be strong and very courageous. This was not just motivational speech. It was divine revelation about what would be required to possess what God had promised. The land was filled with giants, fortified cities, and enemies who had been established there for generations. It was not going to be easy to take possession of what God had given them, but it was absolutely possible with His help. The same is true for you as you prepare to step into your promised land. There are going to be challenges that require courage, obstacles that demand faith, and enemies that must be confronted with divine authority. The blessing I am giving you is not going to be handed to you on a silver platter with no effort required on your part. You are going to have to fight for it, believe for it, and walk in faith to possess it fully. But here is the difference between your fight and the struggles you have been through up until now. In the past, you were fighting just to survive, just to make it through another day, just to keep your head above water. In this new season, you will be fighting from victory, not for victory. You will be fighting to possess what I have already given you, not to convince me to give it to you. You will be fighting to establish my kingdom, not to beg for my mercy. This shift in perspective is going to change everything about how you approach challenges. Instead of feeling defeated before you even begin, you will feel confident because you know the battle is already won. Instead of fighting in your own strength and feeling overwhelmed, you will fight in my strength and feel invincible. Instead of hoping for the best, but expecting the worst, you will expect victory because you know that is what I have promised. The weapons you will use in this new season are not carnal, but mighty through God to the pulling down of strongholds. You will not fight with anger, bitterness, manipulation, or worldly strategies. You will fight with faith, prayer, the Word of God, and the authority I have given you as my child. These weapons are more powerful than any opposition you will face, and they will give you victory in every battle. Remember Daniel, who was thrown into a den of hungry lions because of his faithfulness to God. The king who ordered his execution was more worried about Daniel's safety than Daniel was. Why? Because Daniel knew something that even the king did not fully understand. Daniel knew that his God was able to deliver him, and that even if he chose not to deliver him, serving God was still the right choice. When Daniel was thrown into the lion's den, the lions became as gentle as lambs, because the angel of the Lord was there to protect him. This kind of supernatural protection is going to surround your life as you step into this new season. The people who once intimidated you will discover that they have no power over you. The circumstances that once overwhelmed you will become opportunities for God to display His mighty power. The situations that once seemed hopeless will become testimonies of His faithfulness and love. But just like Daniel, you must maintain your integrity and faithfulness even when it costs you something in the short term. You must continue to pray even when others mock your faith. You must continue to obey God even when it seems like the wrong decision from a worldly perspective. You must continue to trust in His goodness, even when others are telling you that you are being foolish. Your consistency in doing what is right, regardless of the immediate consequences, is what qualifies you for the supernatural protection and provision that God wants to release in your life. The enemy has been watching your behavior, looking for areas of compromise that he could use to disqualify you from your blessing. But your faithfulness during the testing season has proven that you can be trusted with greater responsibility and authority. Now I want to share with you a prophetic vision of what your life is going to look like in the days ahead. You are going to wake up each morning with excitement about the day ahead, rather than dread about what you might have to face. Your first thoughts will be gratitude for my goodness, rather than anxiety about your problems. Your conversations will be filled with testimony about what God has done, rather than complaints about what is wrong. People are going to notice a dramatic change in your countenance, your confidence, your entire demeanor. The worry lines that stress carved into your face are going to be replaced by laugh lines that joy creates over time. The tension that you carried in your shoulders is going to be replaced by the relaxation that comes from knowing you are safe in my arms. The heaviness that weighed down your spirit is going to be replaced by a lightness that makes you feel like you could almost float. Your family is going to witness a transformation that will leave them amazed and grateful. Children who have been worried about you are going to see you laughing and singing again. Spouse or family members who have been praying for your breakthrough are going to watch those prayers being answered before their very eyes. Relatives who have been concerned about your well-being are going to rejoice as they see you stepping into the fullness of my blessing. But the transformation is not going to stop with your immediate family. Co-workers are going to notice that you approach challenges with a completely different attitude. Neighbors are going to wonder what happened to cause such a dramatic change in your outlook. Friends are going to ask you to explain the source of your newfound joy and confidence. And you will have countless opportunities to share the good news of what God has done in your life. Your testimony is going to become a powerful tool for bringing others into relationship with me. The very struggles that once seemed like your greatest weakness will become your greatest strength as you use them to encourage others who are facing similar battles. The pain that once felt meaningless will take on profound purpose as you use it to bring healing to broken hearts. The wilderness season that once seemed like a waste of time will be revealed as the very thing that equipped you to guide others through their own difficult journeys. I have been preparing you not just to receive blessing, but to become a source of blessing for others. The comfort you have received in your affliction has equipped you to comfort others who are afflicted. The deliverance you are about to experience will give you authority to speak freedom over others who are in bondage. The breakthrough that is manifesting in your life will become a prophetic declaration that breakthrough is possible for anyone who trusts in my faithfulness. Your story is going to be told in churches, in small groups, in coffee shops, and in homes around the world. People are going to use your testimony to build their own faith when they are facing impossible circumstances. Ministers are going to quote your example when they are preaching about God's faithfulness. Authors are going to include your story in books about modern-day miracles. Your name is going to become associated with the goodness and power of God. But even more than being known for what God did for you, you are going to be known for how you gave Him all the glory. Your humility in the midst of blessing is going to be what makes your testimony so powerful. Your gratitude in the face of abundance is going to be what makes your story so compelling. Your faithfulness to continue serving God after He has blessed you is going to be what makes your life such a powerful witness. The enemy tried to use your trials to make you bitter toward God, but instead they made you better in God. He tried to use your pain to drive you away from faith, but instead it drove you deeper into faith. He tried to use your struggles to make you doubt God's love, but instead they convinced you of God's love in a way that prosperity alone never could have done. Now, as you step into this season of unprecedented blessing, the enemy is going to try a different strategy. He is going to try to use your success to make you proud, your abundance to make you selfish, your influence to make you self-centered. But you are going to disappoint him again because you have learned through your trials that everything good in your life comes from God, and therefore all the glory belongs to him alone. The wisdom you have gained through suffering is going to protect you from the pitfalls that often accompany sudden blessing. The humility that was developed in you through need is going to keep you grounded when you are surrounded by abundance. The dependence on God that was cultivated in you through difficulty is going to sustain you when you are in positions of influence and authority. You are not going to be like the lottery winner who loses everything within a few years because they were not prepared to handle sudden wealth. You are not going to be like the person who receives a promotion they are not ready for and ends up failing miserably. You are not going to be like the individual who gains influence quickly but loses it just as quickly because they lack the character to sustain it. Instead, you are going to be like the wise steward who has been faithful in little things and is therefore given authority over much. You are going to be like the prepared vessel who has been refined by fire and is therefore ready to be used for noble purposes. You are going to be like the proven warrior who has been tested in small battles and is therefore qualified to lead in great victories. The foundation that has been laid in your life through years of seeking God, trusting His word, and remaining faithful through difficulty is strong enough to support any level of blessing He wants to place upon it. The character that has been developed through trials and testing is mature enough to handle any amount of responsibility He wants to give you. The relationship with Him that has been deepened through your dependence is intimate enough to sustain you through any level of success. This is why you can receive what I am about to give you with complete confidence and joy. This is why you do not need to fear that success will spoil you or that blessing will corrupt you. This is why you can trust that the good work I have begun in you will be completed regardless of how dramatically your external circumstances change. The man or woman who emerges from this season of testing is not the same person who entered it. You have been transformed by my grace, strengthened by my power, and prepared for my purposes. The blessing that is about to be released in your life is not going to overwhelm you or destroy you. It is going to fulfill you and position you to accomplish everything I have called you to do. As we prepare to close this time of intimate communication, I want you to take a moment to reflect on how far you have come. Think about the person you were when this difficult season began, and compare that to the person you are now. Consider the depth of faith you have developed, the strength of character you have gained, the wisdom you have acquired, and the intimacy with me you have cultivated. All of these treasures that have been developed in the secret place are about to be displayed in the public arena. All of the growth that has taken place behind the scenes is about to be revealed on the main stage. All of the preparation that has been happening in private is about to be utilized in a very public way as I use you to demonstrate my goodness to a watching world. The season of hiddenness is ending, and the season of visibility is beginning. The time of preparation is concluding, and the time of manifestation is starting. The period of development is finishing, and the period of deployment is commencing. You are about to step from the wings onto the main stage of the purposes I have planned for your life. But remember, as you step into the spotlight, that the same God who sustained you in obscurity will sustain you in prominence. The same grace that carried you through difficulty will carry you through blessing. The same love that surrounded you in the valley will surround you on the mountaintop. Nothing about my commitment to you changes when your circumstances change. My faithfulness toward you remains constant regardless of your situation. Trust me completely as we move forward together into this exciting new chapter. Continue to lean on my understanding rather than your own. Keep seeking my will above your own desires. Remain humble and teachable, knowing that even in blessing there are always new lessons to learn and new levels of maturity to reach. There is one more truth I want to leave with you as we conclude this sacred moment together. The breakthrough that is coming to your life is not just a reward for your faithfulness. It is a launching pad for your destiny. What I'm about to do in your circumstances is not the end goal. It is the beginning of a journey that will take you places you have never imagined and into purposes that exceed your current understanding. The resources I am about to place in your hands are tools for building my kingdom. The relationships I am about to bring into your life are partnerships for advancing my purposes. The influence I am about to give you is a platform for demonstrating my love to a broken world. The opportunities I am about to open before you are doorways into assignments that will bring glory to my name and blessing to countless people. You are not receiving this breakthrough just so you can live a more comfortable life, though comfort will certainly be a byproduct of my blessing. You are not being promoted just so you can enjoy higher status, though honor will naturally follow those who walk in my ways. You are not being blessed just so you can accumulate wealth, though financial abundance will be part of what I provide for you. The true purpose of everything I am about to release in your life is to position you as a living testimony of my goodness, a walking demonstration of my power, and a breathing example of my love. You are going to become evidence that I still perform miracles, proof that I still answer prayers, and confirmation that I still transform impossible situations into incredible victories. Your life is going to become a lighthouse for those who are lost at sea, a sanctuary for those who are running from storms, and a beacon of hope for those who have given up on their dreams. The very existence of your transformed circumstances is going to speak louder than any sermon, convince more effectively than any argument, and inspire more powerfully than any motivational speech. This is the weight of responsibility that comes with the blessing I'm giving you, but it is also the joy of participation in something far greater than yourself. You are not just receiving a personal miracle. You are becoming part of a divine movement that will impact generations. You are not just experiencing individual breakthrough. You are contributing to a corporate revelation of my glory that will shake nations and transform cultures. The enemy has been fighting so hard against your breakthrough because he understands the ripple effects it will create. He knows that your victory will inspire others to believe for their own victories. He realizes that your healing will give hope to others who need healing. He recognizes that your restoration will encourage others to trust in my ability to restore what has been broken in their own lives. This is why your breakthrough is so important to the kingdom of God. It is not just about you. It is about everyone who will be impacted by your testimony. It is not just about your blessing. It is about the blessing that will flow through you to countless others. It is not just about your victory. It is about the victories that will be inspired by your example. So as you step into this new season, remember that you carry not just your own dreams, but the hopes of many who are watching to see what God will do in your life. Your faithfulness in this season will encourage them to remain faithful in their seasons. Your breakthrough will become their breakthrough. Your miracle will become their miracle. Your testimony will become their testimony. This is the legacy I am building through your life, the impact I am creating through your story, the influence I am establishing through your example. You are going to discover that being blessed by God is not just about receiving from Him. It is about becoming like Him in your generosity, your compassion, your faithfulness, and your love. The person you become through this process of blessing and responsibility is going to be more valuable than any treasure you could accumulate, more significant than any achievement you could accomplish, and more fulfilling than any pleasure you could experience. You are going to find deep satisfaction in knowing that your life has made a difference, profound joy in seeing others transformed through your influence, and lasting peace in knowing that you have fulfilled the purposes for which I created you. As this moment of communion between us comes to a close, I want you to carry with you the absolute certainty that everything I have spoken to you today will come to pass. Not because you are perfect, but because I am faithful. Not because you deserve it, but because I have chosen to lavish my love upon you. Not because you have earned it, but because it brings me pleasure to give good gifts to my children. Hold fast to these words when circumstances seem to contradict them. Remember these promises when doubt tries to steal them from your heart. Declare these truths when fear attempts to silence your voice. Stand on these foundations when the storms of life try to shake your confidence. You are loved beyond measure, chosen without condition, blessed without limitation, and destined for greatness beyond your current comprehension. I am with you always, for you completely, and committed to your success eternally. Nothing can separate you from my love. Nothing can thwart my plans for you. and nothing can prevent the fulfillment of what I have decreed concerning your life. Rise up now with renewed faith, refreshed hope, and restored confidence. Step boldly into the future I have prepared for you, knowing that my hand is upon you, my favor surrounds you, and my blessing overtakes you. Your time has come, your season has arrived, and your breakthrough is here. Every morning from this day forward, you will wake up knowing that you are deeply loved, perfectly positioned, and divinely equipped for everything that lies ahead. Every challenge you face will become an opportunity for my power to be displayed. Every obstacle you encounter will become a testimony of my faithfulness. Every victory you achieve will become a stepping stone to even greater victories in the future. Walk in the confidence that comes from knowing who you are in me. Live with the assurance that comes from understanding my heart toward you. Move forward with the boldness that comes from trusting in my promises. Your greatest days are not behind you. They are stretching out before you like an endless horizon of possibility and hope. I love you more than you will ever know, and I am so proud to call you my child. Amen. If this message touched your heart, share it with someone who needs to hear these words today. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss what God wants to speak over your life. Join our community of believers who gather here daily to receive encouragement and hope from the heart of God. Your breakthrough is closer than you think, and your testimony will inspire countless others who are still fighting their battles.